Picture this. You're cruising the interstate in your 1980s Mercedes. You aren't just driving. You're gliding in a 4,000-pound vault of German steel, and every mile feels like it was engineered specifically for you. Suddenly, a plastic SUV blurs past you, all flashing LEDs and soulless tech. The driver glances over with pity, like he's won some invisible race you never signed up for. But you just lean back into that MB Tech seat and smile. Because you aren't his race. You've already reached the finish line of satisfaction, and you got there decades ago. Ever wonder why you simply cannot let go of this car? Psychologists have a term for it: object permanence. But not the basic kind they teach in first-year psychology. This is the advanced version. It's the rare human ability to look at a machine and see a living soul where the rest of the world sees outdated junk. For you, this Mercedes isn't a depreciating appliance sitting in a driveway. It's a permanent anchor in a world that is constantly drifting, a fixed point of quality in a sea of disposable everything. And that ability? That's not common. Most people lost at the moment the first salesman told them last year's model was already old. Here is the truth that the lease a new car every 3 years crowd will never understand. You don't drive an 80s Benz because you have to. You drive it because you choose to every single morning with full awareness of every alternative available to you. You've looked at the dealerships, you've seen the brochures, and you've quietly, deliberately walked away. You've rejected the lie that newer is better. For you, better was perfected somewhere between 1980 and 1989 in Stuttgart, Germany, and you are not trading perfection for a touchscreen that'll be glitchy in 3 years. While the guy in the next lane is sweating over a $900 monthly car note, skyrocketing insurance premiums, and a lease agreement that owns him more than he owns that car, you are genuinely, completely free. You don't owe the bank a single dime for your identity. He's financially chained to a mirage of status, performing wealth for strangers at red lights. You're committed to a reality of quality. Your car is paid for. Your confidence is paid for. And nobody can repo either one. Psychologists and engineers both recognize what we can call engineering permanence, and you live it without even thinking about it. You don't measure the value of a machine by its sticker price or its model year. You measure it by the thud of the door closing, by the fact that after 40 years, every single switch still clicks with the authority of something built to mean something. You aren't asking whether it's new. You're asking whether it was built to outlast you. And the answer, every time you turn that key, is yes. When those glossy Super Bowl commercials drop for the latest electric vehicle, the ones with the dramatic music and the promises of a better future, you don't even blink. You've developed what can only be described as manufacturer desire resistance, and it is ironclad. You understand, on a deep level, that those cars aren't built for longevity. They're built for a lease cycle, for a quarterly earnings report, for a shareholder meeting. You aren't suppressing the urge to upgrade. The urge simply doesn't exist anymore because you've seen through the machinery behind the marketing. And here's what people on the outside will never fully grasp. You aren't just an owner. You are a guardian. You get a deeper, quieter thrill from being the person who kept this legend alive than most people will ever get from peeling the plastic off a new car's screen. There's a profound difference between being a temporary user of something and being a lifelong steward of a mechanical masterpiece. One is consumption. The other is a calling. And you answer that call, probably without even realizing it first. Neuroscience actually backs you up on this. Every time you track down a rare part, every time you sort out a problem yourself, every time you feel that smooth, deliberate shift move through your hand, your brain is building what researchers call longitudinal mastery. It's a compounding dopamine reward that grows stronger every single year you maintain a relationship with this car. A new car's excitement fades within months. Studies consistently show this. Your satisfaction doesn't fade. It deepens. It compounds. It becomes part of who you are. Let's take a moment to respect the iron itself. The W123, the W126, the W116. These machines were not built by accountants running cost reduction spreadsheets. They were built by engineers operating under something close to a cost-no-object mandate, with one singular goal: Build the finest automobile in the world, period, full stop. When you drive one of these cars, you're not driving transportation. You are driving the peak of human mechanical ambition from an era when that ambition was still allowed to run completely free. The modern car industry needs you to forget something, and they've spent billions of dollars trying to make sure you do. They need you to forget that planned obsolescence didn't exist in 1980 Stuttgart. The engineers who designed your car were not thinking about your next purchase. They were not thinking about a 3-year replacement cycle. They were thinking about the year 2026. And here you are, pulling out of your driveway every morning and proving them right 40 years later, right on schedule. If you're someone who loves your 80s Mercedes and refuses to sell it, you are almost certainly what behavioral researchers would describe as a decade thinker living in a trend-obsessed world. You are patient in a culture that has forgotten what patience produces. You value depth over display, substance over signal, and you have developed a deep, almost instinctive distrust of surface-level hype. Your car isn't a random choice. It is an honest, daily reflection of a value system that is already settled, already secure, and doesn't need anyone else's validation to feel complete. This is what psychologists call autonomous self-regard. You do not need a 2026 badge on your trunk to signal to the world that you've made it. The slightly raised eyebrow from the neighbor who just leased a Tesla doesn't register. Not because you're suppressing the reaction, but because the opinion genuinely doesn't reach you. Your confidence is not parked in someone else's perception. It is rooted in the driver's seat of a car that has earned every mile of the respect you give it. You remember the marshmallow test, the famous psychology experiment where children who could wait for a second marshmallow instead of eating the first one immediately went on to live measurably more successful, disciplined lives. That's you applied to everything. You invested in a 40-year track record instead of a 4-star online review. You chose the delayed, compounding reward over the immediate, fading hit. And that discipline doesn't stay in the garage. It bleeds into every other corner of your life, quietly and consistently. And while the entire world performs environmentalism, talking about carbon footprints, buying new electric vehicles, congratulating themselves on being green, you're living the most honest and complete form of sustainability that exists. The carbon footprint of manufacturing your car was settled in 1985. By refusing to replace it, by keeping it running, by maintaining it with care, you are the most authentic conservationist in the room. You don't perform sustainability. You embody it in the oldest, truest sense. Use it well, maintain it with respect, and make it last beyond every expectation. So that smile, the one that crosses your face when a shiny new car speeds past you on the interstate, that smile is not nostalgia. It is not insecurity wearing a brave face. It is the quiet, unshakable peace of someone who has genuinely figured something out that most people are still searching for. Real status isn't measured by what you can buy. It's measured by what you refuse to sell. You know exactly what you have sitting in that garage. You know exactly what it represents. And that is precisely, completely, and permanently why you are never letting it go.